Hey everybody, I just finished the first repot of the spring. I'm gonna do a crabapple next. I hope you'll hang around for that video. Also, I hope you'll consider hitting subscribe. We've got so much going on here this spring, throughout the summer. I'd love it if you'd come along this journey with us. The next tree I'm gonna work on, this is a little crabapple tree. I don't remember how long I've had it in this pot. When we moved over here last fall, brought all the trees over, we kind of put them in the backyard and had to think about other things. I didn't realize we had rabbits in this neighborhood, and so the rabbits quickly came in and chewed a bunch of the trees. Thankfully, mostly it was just stems, but they did bite into some of the trunks here in a couple places. But I'll pull this out and we'll rake out the roots, give them a trim, and then I will find a container to put them back in. Okay, so I can see a lot of roots all the way around, looks good. So I'm using this chopstick to poke down in that soil and kind of loosen that soil up and kind of free it from the roots. So when you're repotting a tree and removing the soil, first thing you're going to need to know is what everything looks like around the navari, or kind of where the trunk meets into the soil. So we're going to clean this off down to kind of all the main roots there, so we have an idea of what we're looking at. Okay, I've got some stuff right off the bat that I can get rid of. It'll just help. It'll just help as I'm going through and untangling all this. We can take I got these cheaper shears that kind of help. I don't mind cutting through all this roots like this that might still have soil particles in there. I keep another pair that I use specifically just for foliage work. The taproot probably grew horizontally along the bottom of the pot, and then all these roots grew from there. So we're gonna get this really picked out and find out how much of that we can get rid of. And I'm certain we're gonna be able to get this into that smaller plastic pot I have. Right off the bat, I see this root is wrapping around. We're gonna see how much of that we can remove. I'm gonna cut it kind of long first. Got another root up here we don't need. Probably those. So that one's sticking up, coming out. We don't need that either. So I think I probably better address this big mess up here next, because I don't want to get in a situation where I realize I just cut off so many roots and then didn't give myself room to deal with that big one. Let's see if we can find it here. It's that one there. found it. Let's see if we can find it down here too. Okay, so what I'm looking for now is where does this root come from? And I uncovered it. Uncovered it here. Let's trace it back. Okay, so that was a lot of what we were after. We found that. So normally I'd wait just a little bit longer to root wash this, just because I don't want to bring back a soaking wet ball of roots. But with as dry as they are right now, I think it would probably be beneficial to go ahead and wash them. So we got the roots washed out. Now we have to start making decisions on what roots stay and what roots go. I see a really large root right here. And it's got a big root coming right out of the side of it. Right there. I think I can get rid of that. I think I want to. Here's a root that comes straight up out of the top of that one. So we're going to take that one off. And then we're going to look at that root and see I think we can take it back just a little bit further. I've taken a lot of big roots out of here, but there's still a lot of fine stuff that I'm working with or have available. So if you leave too much of this, it's just gonna be a bigger problem next time. And next time there's gonna be a lot more time invested into this than I've had the trees, so I think I'd rather get this out of here now, not worry about it later. Okay, well, we've reduced the roots quite a bit here. And I think it will fit into the smaller plastic pot that I have. So I'm gonna get that and get that prepped. I've got this plastic pot here and our tree will fit in it kind of snugly, but we should be able to wire it in. So I will get some wire prepped and then I'll start with some soil. Again, this is the oxygen layer of the soil mix. When I screened my soil, this is what the 1/4-inch screen kept out of the mix. Now we're just going on here just a single layer. And then we're going to follow that up with the mix itself. And this is also going to be just a single layer. I'm going to give it a little mound. Because I want to change that angle a little bit. When you tie your wires, you want to gently pull up and then twist and let the twist go back to the trunk, to the tree, whatever the anchor point is that you're getting it on. So you pull it up and then let the twist go back to there. That feels really good. Okay, I'm gonna take one more opportunity and try to feather these roots out a little bit. I'm gonna put just enough soil on there so I can go in here with my chopstick. And what I'm looking to do is get in between those roots and kind of wiggle them apart and let the soil particles fall down in between the root system, or the roots. And then we're also making sure that there are no air pockets left over when we're finished. A lot of times you can wiggle your chopstick down in there, wheel it around a little bit, the particles will fall down into the gaps or the air pockets. But when you're full, when you've got your pot full of soil and the air pockets worked out of it, your chopstick won't sink down in as easy as it did when you first started. Oh, there's one. My chopstick immediately went to the bottom there. But it feels good now. Straggler roots that come out, just clip them off. The tree is nice and firm in the pot. We'll let it reestablish, and then soon we will be ready to start paying more attention to the trunk. So one last thing that I want to point out real quick before I water this is this time of year there's still potential to get some cold weather. So today I repotted this crabapple, and earlier today I did an elm. Both those trees, they'll stay outside unless there's a threat of freezing weather. Then they will come inside for the night until the threat has passed. Anyways, all right, let's water this in. In my video on making soil, you'll see in there where I sifted the soil to get the dust off of it. Well, there's still some dust on here, so we're gonna run just enough water through there to rinse all the rest of the dust off there. We're gonna get a good water so that everything gets hydrated well. But then we've got all those wounds down in there that we cut on. So I'm gonna really be easy on the water for the next few days. Make sure we get all the dust particles washed out of there. And so here's the crabapple and the elm that we completed today. We've got a lot more work to do, so I hope you will subscribe to the channel and follow along with the rest of the work we have this spring. Take care.